welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I am Chelsea. Today's video is going to be a Q&A. So I put out a little shout out for questions. It's been like 3 weeks, but life sometimes, y'all, just life. So I finally have time and motivation and all those things you need to have today to sit down and film this. So I put out questions I asked here on YouTube on the community tab, and I also asked over on Instagram. If you're not following me on Instagram, I'll leave my account linked down in the description box of this video. So I'm just gonna go through the questions. I have them like screenshotted on my phone. I might have lost a couple on Instagram because the way they like archive their things is different now, and I did not know that. But I did screenshot a few before they were lost. So when I get to those pictures and I'm seeing what I still have, maybe it'll jar in my memory what I don't have. We'll go from there. I'm gonna start with some YouTube questions here, and we'll just get going. So, someone asked all about our pets, like how old they are, how did they become a part of our family, where they sleep, who their family favorites are, just things like that. So just wanting to know about our pets, so that's fun. We have 3 pets. You really only see 2. My other one, we've had the longest, so we have 1 dog and 2 cats. We'll start with that one. The one you don't see as often, she has been in a couple of like little bitty pieces of vlogs here and there throughout the time I've been making videos. Her name is Clementine. She is a cat. She's black and white. She was born in my mom's garage, and the mother just left, and we waited and waited and waited. She never came back. There was 2 kittens. We went and got them. We bottle fed them. Once they got big enough to kind of play outside on the porch, we would let them play. One day one was just gone. He was a boy. I don't know where he went. But anyway, Clementine was left. So we kept her, and I have had her now. She's a little older than Melissa. Melissa's 13. So I'm going to say Clementine's probably, I mean, they're very close in age. Maybe 14. Not the best memory. So she's very old. She's always been very, very shy. Like when we've moved, because we've moved since having her. So I got her, she was at my mom's, then she's moved to other places when we've moved, and obviously she lives here with us now. Anyway, she always hides for a very long time after we move. We've switched bedrooms in this house before. She'll hide for a long time switching bedrooms. If company's over, she's no way coming out, which is why you don't see her very often in vlogs, because she's just so shy. She likes to hang down in here in this room that is like our room, the baby's room, just kind of the hangout room. It's all the rooms. She stays in here, or whatever room is my bedroom at the time. That's where she stays. She doesn't go up into the house very often. One of those reasons also though is just she doesn't get along with other animals very well. So she doesn't like to be around them. Okay, this is gonna take too long if I take this long for every animal. But anyway, her name is Clementine. She's very, very sweet and just very shy and very old. Ginger is a cat, our other cat. We've had her the second longest. Let's see, we've had her about 5 years, and she's about 5 years. She was actually born under this house. That's how I get cats, I guess. She was born under this house. A mama went under my house, had a whole bunch of kittens. They all eventually just, the mom went off, the other kittens went off. We used to pet them, pick them up, stuff. I don't know. They all just disappeared, but she never left. She just stayed. And so after we realized like all the other cats were gone and she never left, she just stayed. The mama cat would never come near us. We let her in. We've gotten her fixed. She did have a couple of litters though before we did that, and got her shots and all that stuff. And she's a cute cat. If you've noticed, she does not have a tail. She was hit one time. She likes to play outside. I know some people don't think cats should go outside. I think that's fine. I think cats like to be outside. However, she did get hit one time. We let her outside to play. She didn't come back for 2 days, which is very much not like her. When she finally did come back, she was limping and her tail was broken. So I took her to the vet. They said it might be okay, it might not be. Fell off. The bottom part did, and then she had to have a little part of it removed surgically because she couldn't operate it. So it was hard when she went to the bathroom to not get in her way. So that's why she has a little tail. like a little bobcat tail. She's very adventuresome, very lovey-dovey. She's a fun cat. She likes to play and cuddle. She always wakes up in the morning. She looks like she's like drunk. She stumbles out of the room she sleeps in. She sleeps with Liam. He's kind of adopted her. So Clementine is kind of like mine. She doesn't really care for anyone else. Anyone else tries to pet her and she's like, what are you doing? I'm gonna go hide. Ginger loves everyone. Everyone loves her, but Liam has kind of adopted her. He's a very sweet, just animal lover, and I think animals can tell that about him, that he's very sweet and tender-hearted. So he feeds her and changes her litter box. She sleeps with him. They're just kind of buddies, but in the morning she always stumbles out and sits with me while I have my coffee. So yeah, but she's kind of like his, but everybody's at the same time. Anyway, and then Luna, I have vlogs about getting Luna and how we got Luna. If I remember, I will link the video and where I talk all about her story and how we got her down below. I'll try to remember. There will probably be a lot of videos linked down below because some of these topics I've covered more deeply than what I'm going to cover today if I've already covered them. So, Luna is a rescue dog. She was actually dumped. A neighbor of my grandma saw her. She was kind of dumped out of a car. She has a scar from it. Yeah, the people just didn't want her, I guess. I don't know who could do that to any kind of animal, but apparently people do. They took her in. They already had some dogs and kids, and they just couldn't handle anymore. They took her in as a foster to find a home for her. And I had looked really hard to find a dog on Christmas, and I just couldn't connect with any of the dogs. My husband Aaron had gone to my mom's house on Christmas to help transfer some gifts over here, and she broke out of these people's house and ran up to Aaron. So we all looked at her and thought about it. We ended up getting her Christmas Day, and this pregnancy had been a little annoying to me. She's been very clingy to me this pregnancy, but other than that, she's a really good dog. We really enjoy her. It's just she follows me everywhere now that I'm pregnant. And she wasn't like that before, so just getting used to it. I step on her a lot. She's always right there. But she's a very sweet dog. She's very patient with the kids, especially Aria. She likes to play. She minds pretty well. She knows some tricks. She's pretty smart. So yeah, that's Luna. And we all just talked about names and agreed on that one. So we've had her for a little over a year now. This is May, and it would have been a year on Christmas. So that is her story. It did take, you could tell, I think she was a crate dog. I think she lived in a crate for most of the day while her owners were away. And she was not socialized well, so she's still not very socialized very well with animals. So it's hard if we are walking her somewhere and another dog comes around. It's just, you can tell she was not socialized, and I think she was probably kept in a crate just by the way she acted when we got her. I could tell she wasn't used to really being around people or animals, so I'm really glad that she has socialized well with us and is very patient and loving with us. But took her a long time to even want to potty if she was around us. Like, she would not go potty if we were in the backyard, just different things like that. So hopefully we can slowly, just by taking her for walks and letting her be around other dogs, she'll slowly get accustomed to it. I hope so. So those are our 3 animals that we have. That is all. Let's go to the next one. And like I said, I'll try to link the video where I talk more about Luna. Oh, Clementine sleeps with me. Ginger sleeps with Liam. Luna sleeps in Melissa and Natalie's room. They rearrange the room a lot. She'll sleep on whichever bed is closer to the window. So that is that. Does Luna have a favorite? Well, right now I'm pregnant, so she follows me around. Otherwise, it's probably Melissa and Natalie, because they do like tricks with her. Melissa walks her because they do the tricks. They're giving her treats, stuff like that. Okay, someone said hi. She likes Violet's hair in the picture I posted. I actually just cut the 2 little girls' hair today, so that'll be shown in a vlog soon. They look really cute, short hair for the summer. Question, what is your husband's profession? My husband, I'm trying to think of the title. Material operator, maybe. He works at a manufacturing plant. They make small motors. It's called Eaton. They make small motors for all kinds of things, like machinery, you know, like Bobcat, that big company, and other companies like that. They make the engines for those. So he works there. He used to help make those. And then about a year ago, he switched positions in the company, and he now works with like getting in shipments and handling where those need to go and making sure they get what they need and all that stuff. That's what he does. He could probably explain it better than I do, but that, you get the gist of it. He works at a factory, and he takes care of the shipments and makes sure everything is stocked and where it needs to go and ordering new supplies and all that kind of stuff. Growing up, did you have a favorite dish that your mother made? Sorry, Mom, if you're watching, I can't remember. Okay, here, this is simple. First of all, growing up, my mom was a single mom who was working and went to college while she was raising 3 kids, while she also dealt with health issues. So, not a lot of time in there for a lot of home-cooked meals. She tried. I remember being annoyed that we would have to come in and eat dinner instead of playing with our friends in the street. But I can't remember really any like childhood, like little kid meals. Once we moved and it was just kind of me and her at home and my brothers had, you know, left the nest, we would just do really simple things. I used to love when she would make macaroni with like tomatoes, and it wasn't macaroni and cheese, and I don't even like tomatoes, but it was good. I would like the tomato flavor on all the macaroni noodles and everything. And we would make pierogies. My kids love pierogies. We like pierogies. So just simple, like we weren't making huge home-cooked meals. It was just me at home and her. Then when we moved, she was doing a bunch of business type stuff. She was helping out dog rescues here in town. So anyway, we just kind of ate. It was just the 2 of us and we just ate. So I guess I don't have any favorite dishes from my mother. Are you or your husband Native American? No, I am not. I do have a cousin though who looks just as white as I but has red hair, and she has enough to have an Indian card. From her mother's side, not the side that's related to me. I am just Irish and English, so I am white and freckly. There you go. That's where Natalie gets that red hair from. My grandma has red hair too. And then my husband is half Hispanic and half Caucasian. He was adopted, but his birth certificate says his mother was Hispanic and his father was Caucasian. So that's what they are, and I think it's funny how kids will pull in genes. I feel like Natalie pulled a lot from the Irish side. She's even whiter than I, and she's got the red hair. And then Aria, I feel like, pulled more of the Hispanic side. She's just naturally tan. I mean, in the summer, she gets super tan, but even not in the summer, I mean, if you watch my vlogs, you can just tell her skin is a little more olive complected than ours. She's always just been more hairy. I have to shave her little eyebrows and she's just more Hispanic looking to me. My husband has been asked a lot throughout high school, and I've been asked before just as an adult with him if he is Native American. Also, we live in Oklahoma, so maybe that's, they're thinking he must be Native American. He is not, and I am not. He tans really well in the summer. Liam tans really well in the summer. Aria is always tan and then gets tanner in the summer. The rest of us ladies are just kind of white and freckly. Okay. Let's see. Curious what my reasons are when they homeschool. So I have a video, again, I will try to remember to link that down in the description box, all about why we started homeschooling. And it's basically, the short version of that is that I did send Melissa, my oldest, to pre-K and kindergarten at a public school. I just had never really thought of homeschooling as something I would do. So I sent her off to school, and Natalie, when Melissa went into kindergarten, she really wanted to go, and she was not old enough the way her birthday falls. They're only 18 months apart, but Melissa was going to be 2 grades ahead of her in school just because of how their birthdays each fall. And so Melissa went off to school, and Natalie was super upset she couldn't go. And so I said, hey, I was gonna make this like a fun game. We can do school at home. Won't that be fun? And we can buy all the school supplies, and you can have just everything Melissa has, and we'll do it at home. And she got so excited. So we did. We bought like little workbooks and just like fun supplemental things, like playing, you know, games and stuff, and a little backpack and a little pencil box. And anyway, this was all just fun and games. Natalie was also kind of a difficult, high demanding child, a little bit like Aria, And I realized when we started doing this, she calmed down like a lot. I don't know if she was needing more one-on-one attention, or I also think she was maybe smarter than what I was giving her. Does that make sense? Like, her intellect was high and I was not giving her the things she needed to use it, and so it was making her a little bit more antsy and kind of misbehaving. She wasn't bad, she was just a very demanding child. And once we started doing that, I noticed she calmed down some, and I found that weird. I thought, okay, I've got to back this camera up a little bit. That's interesting that your personality is shifting. But then also, I really enjoyed the one-on-one time with her. I was home with her all day long anyway. At the time, Melissa was at school, and Natalie and Liam were at home with me. But I was already at home with her, and I'd already obviously play games with her and read to them, her and Liam, and you know, they would go on errands with me and all that. But there's just a different kind of bonding that I feel like happens when you sit down and you're doing that one-on-one learning, teaching thing that you do when you homeschool. And I really liked that. And also, she was picking up on stuff so fast, and I felt like Melissa was almost, you know, done with kindergarten, and Natalie's doing it, and she was surpassing what Melissa, it was taking her 2 years to do. And of course, that can just vary by child, so it not necessarily has anything to do with the public school system. I'm just saying that when I saw that, I thought, okay, I'm having fun. She's enjoying it a lot. She's learning and growing a lot. It's helping me learn and grow as a mom in different areas I hadn't thought of. And she's able to accomplish what a kid would do in a school day in like 30 minutes, because you gotta think this is preschool, kindergarten. 30 minutes to an hour, and Melissa's gone for her pre-K and kindergarten weren't as long, I think like 5 or 6 hours. But she's gone most of the day. We're not getting to see her. It just seemed weird to me. So at the end of that, I asked Melissa if she would want to stay home and do school like Natalie does, and she said yeah. That's how we started homeschooling. So I have a video that goes more into that. If you want to watch that, I'll try to link it down below. So another part of that was, have any of your children been to school? And that would just be Melissa for pre-K and kindergarten. Pre-K was half a day, so that was just a few hours, and then kindergarten was a little longer. Okay. Another question, how is your homeschool year finishing out? We school year round, but I do keep track of the days, and I also keep track of what we do. I do not have to in my state. I'm in Oklahoma. I just enjoy that. I like planners and things like that. And it just helps me track in my head. Like, I know if we've had too many days off or not enough days off or whatever. So we school year round, but normally our new school year would start February to March. So we are technically done with this school year. And then I normally don't even take a pause. Like, we finish one school year, the next day we'll start the next one, unless it falls on a weekend or, you know, a spring break type thing. However, this year, that's not what we did. We have kind of been taking a break, and I'm sure you can tell from vlogs. I'm also going to be filming a homeschool update video, kind of talking about the different ways we are going about homeschooling, and just different things we're trying and all that stuff. So I'm hoping to film that really soon and get that out to you guys. I think it'll be hopefully fun to watch. I'm a little nervous to post it. Anytime you share things you're doing that are a little different than the norm, it's always just a little nerve-wracking. If I keep not making sense, it's just the pregnancy brain. I can't think of the words. The words are not coming to my head today, but I will make that soon. So how is it finishing up? It's technically already finished up. It's going well. Everything's going great. We're enjoying a lot of read alouds right now, a lot of playtime right now. We're finding a lot of movies to go with our read alouds, and it just has kind of worked out well because my sickness has kind of come back towards the end of this pregnancy. So I'm glad that we can take this time, and even if we need to continue and take the time, you know, through the summer when Hudson's born and here, I know it'll be okay because we don't have to live in a box of Monday through Friday, 8 to 5. I mean, you know, we can do it as much as we want, as little as we want, and it all works out. So yes, hope that answers that. What curriculum is your favorite, or do you use one? And there's more to that, but we'll stop there. I have curriculums that I've loved and hated and all those things. So And do we use one? Yes and no. And again, I don't want to answer too many of these because it'll take up all this video's time when I would really like to delve deeper into it in another video with you guys. But I had a lot of homeschool questions. So I will also just link my homeschool playlist down below where I talk about different curriculums. A curriculum that I've liked from the beginning and have never let go and just use every time is Story of the World. I will try to link that also. It's a history curriculum. It's kind of like read aloud style, and then it has an activity book that has recipes, games, crafts, and lessons. You can also buy quiz booklets. I'm not a huge quiz person. Talking to your child, you'll find out if they know it or not. But some people really like that. In some states you might need that. So there is that also. But I like that. We stop curriculums and we'll do unit studies. So it takes us a long time. So like what should take 1 year will sometimes take us 2 because we will stop. Like say we're doing Story of the World. We're going to stop doing that and we're going to do a unit study on the Civil War. Okay, and then we'll go back to Story of the World. And then we're going to stop and we're going to do a unit study on the Mayans. Okay, then we're going to stop, do Story of the World. So you get my point there. So I love Story of the World. My kids like it. They request to do it. I like the map work that comes with it. We just recently started volume 3. So again, that's what I'm saying. We're not necessarily in our school year, but we're reading that and learning and doing those things from it. So learning never really stops. And we don't think of Story of the World really as like school, even though it is, you know. So I love Story of the World. Apologia Science, we enjoy that. Sometimes it's a little dry and a little long. We will use that when I feel like I'm too tired to make up unit studies. We'll go to that. So really, I guess my favorite curriculum is unit studies. I make them up myself. I believe I have a video talking about that. I will link that for you guys because we get to pick that way. We all get to vote. Hey, what do you want to learn about? We'll all throw our ideas out there. We'll take a vote, whatever it is. That's what our unit study will be on, and I will try to make it cover as many topics as I can. Math is a hard one, but I can cover basically any other topic no matter what they pick. So they could pick World War II, and that's going to be history, science, language arts, creative writing, everything. You could put it in there. Or it could be ocean life. Okay, I can get history into that. And lots of read alouds, lots and lots of read alouds. So our curriculum is basically unit studies and read alouds. It's very literature based. That's what we enjoy. My kids for math, they all enjoy different things. They get to pick it and do it how they want to do it. Violet loves using Easy Peasy for math. Liam likes teaching textbooks for math. Natalie will use any math curriculum. It doesn't matter as long as it's not really repetitive. None of my kids were fans of master books math. None of them liked it at all. We did not finish it. It just kind of goes slow, and my kids don't take after me. They get the math and they're ready to move on. Melissa likes workbook type stuff. She likes Saxon math. And again, Natalie, she uses all kinds of math. So she has the teaching textbooks. She can use that. She has Saxon. She can use that. She has this real life math book that she does for fun. She can do that. What else? We have something else. I think just like a workbook. Anyway, she picks it. She works it out. She likes it. And I feel like that should be their choice. So that's what I let them pick. What do you want to do for math? What else? Ideas for homeschooling a large family. I also have a video on that. I will link. So the best way I like to do it is keep it in groups, a group study as much as possible. So I will include all my children if we're doing a unit study, or even if we're not, we're doing Story of the World and all these different things. I will do group subjects as much as possible. So if our unit study is going to cover history and science and language arts and creative writing that day, all my kids will sit and listen to all the read alouds we have for that. Every once in a while we have had a unit study where I pick one of those books will be a mature book, like because we'll have more than one in our unit study. And then I'll be like, okay, the little ones can go play, my big girls can hear this, but it's a little too mature for my younger kids. But on the whole, they all come and all listen to the story, and then I will make assignments based on individual needs. So generally Melissa and Natalie will have the same assignment. and when I'm making the unit studies, I make them up myself. Obviously, if we're using something like Story of the World, I will give the assignment out to everyone. If I feel like it's way too easy for my big girls, I'll say, hey, let's up it. I'll ask them to think of a way to up it, or I will. Liam will usually get it straight out, and then I don't want to say dumb it down, but make it easier for my little ones, you know, like they'll do the map work and the coloring pages, but obviously, and they'll do the narrations and stuff, but they're not gonna go and like write a paper. I'll have them dictate to me instead of writing, and then they can do copy work from that dictation and just different things like that. So my biggest blessing that has been for our family in homeschooling is learning how to group as much as I can together. We do all of that together first, and then subjects that cannot be grouped together, like math, 100%, it's not gonna be grouped together. We will split up then for that. And if we do have to split up for more subjects, there has been times, we've homeschooled different ways throughout the year, so there have been times where we split up for more things, like we might be splitting it for grammar and math and science, and only be doing history together. I'll do the history together, and then when we break up, everyone has to do their science at the same time, and then everyone does their grammar at the same time. That way my brain is not switching back and forth, like I'm helping you with multiplication and I'm helping you with you know, think of something sciencey, helping you with layers of the earth, and then I'm helping you with adjectives. Like, that makes my brain tired. Now obviously if it takes one kid longer and these kids have moved on, that's different, and we'll adjust and work with that. But to start off, I'm like, okay, for this next little bit of time, everyone's gonna work on math, and we'll go from there. That helps a lot for like my mom brain. Okay, these are from Instagram, and the way that it's saved, I can't see all of them. We're gonna try. What has been your favorite meal of all time to make? Well, that's just hard. We had a really yummy dinner today. Philly cheesesteak stuffed shells, that was delicious. My favorite meals though to make would be ones that are good, but don't take a lot of time. I don't want to be in the kitchen for forever, but I want it to taste like I was. That. When is your actual due date? My actual due date, I got this question many times, and I guess maybe I've never shared it. I just always say I'm due in June. I'm due June 15th. So I don't, I feel like due dates are kind of silly. You have a due window. You're due around this time, so I just say June. I've never made it to 40 weeks. I've never made it to my due date ever. I've always gone before then. My babies have been born 35 weeks, 36 weeks, 38 weeks, and 39 weeks. But my actual due date is June 15th. So we will see if Hudson stays in there till June 15th or not. Or maybe, I'm really hoping, I keep telling everybody, I've never got to my due date. So I hope he doesn't prove me wrong and makes it to my due date. I really don't want to do that. 39 weeks, 38 weeks, I'm good with that. Or I really hope he doesn't prove me wrong plus some. Right? Like, I do not want to go over. No, I do not. I do not want to go over. My favorite quality about your husband, and what's his about you? Well, see, I didn't know that was going to be a question. I haven't looked at these in a while. I asked 3 weeks ago. I would have asked him my favorite quality. He's not here. My favorite quality about Aaron is that I think he's the hardest worker that I've ever met, and he does not complain. Like, he can just go, and not in a bad way, not like a workaholic way, but like he just knows that things need to get done, and he's gonna get them done. He will work extra hours, he will work weekends, he will pick up odd shifts if we need him to, and he'll make sure that everyone's taken care of. And you know, and I'm like, I'm sure he has to be tired. I would be tired, but to live off one income and feed and house and clothe and all those things, 8 people, it's not the cheapest thing in the world, which we have some questions on that too. But he just does it, and he makes it work, and he can work and work and work, and all the money from all the working have places it needs to go, and not sometimes a whole lot extra. Just being real honest here with you guys. And he doesn't complain. He just keeps going. And it's not like he doesn't complain, but he keeps it bottled in and you can tell he's upset. No, he just knows he has people to take care of, and that's his goal. And if they're taken care of, he's happy. And I admire that in him, because I know a lot of people who can't do that or don't want to do that, and a lot of people who do, but it makes me proud and happy, and yeah, I think that's probably my favorite quality. He's a good daddy. He likes to play. He's quiet and shy kind of on camera, and I don't think he'll watch this, so I can say that. He doesn't show up a lot, and when he does, he probably seems very quiet. He's just like that until you get to know him, and then he talks a whole lot. But with the kids, I'm glad that he's one of the daddies that plays. I like seeing him play with the kiddos. So those are my two favorite qualities. I was also asked favorite ways to spend time with my husband. So if we can go on dates, that's always nice, but sometimes that's not possible. And so at-home dates work just as well if you can wait, you know, till all the kiddos kind of go to bed, maybe send them to bed a little early with some popcorn and a movie, and then we'll play cards and we'll pick a show or a movie to watch. We start like 2 days before picking a show or a movie, because otherwise it's like impossible for us to find one that day. It takes a long time. It's like choosing a place to eat. But anyway, I will buy like yummy snacks that grocery trip. I'll make sure we have something fun and something yummy for us to eat. There have been times where like I'll wait till he comes home because he works second shift, so he gets home around 11:20 at night. So before I was pregnant and I could stay up that late, we would order pizza and he'd pick it up on the way home, and we'd eat that and talk and just all those things. But it's better when he's off and we can start early and we just stay in here in our room and play card games. And like I said, just watch movies and eat our snacks and talk. And it's almost better than a date because you're more relaxed and you're at home and you're not worried about the sitter or the kids, and you're just comfortable and you kind of feel like you have all the time you need, instead of like, oh, we only have a couple hours, we got to pick up the kids. It's just a little bit more relaxed that way. But getting out is nice too. I was asked tips on large family budgets, and I think I have a video. I have like a 5 tips for that, for budgeting a large family. My biggest piece of, I don't want to say advice, but the thing that helps us the most, or has helped us, is to kind of lower your expectations and live within your means. I probably say it way better in that video without pregnancy brain. And I don't mean to lower your expectations to where like, well, I'm not going to have anything because I don't have enough money. But like, what do you really actually want? What do you actually want? Think about that for a minute, because for me, what I actually want is I want a good marriage and happy kids and healthy family, and I want quality time, and I want to be able to bond and see my children, and I want all those things. And I feel like sometimes we live in a very consumer driven world. Like, we need this and we need that and we need this and we have to have the best of this and the best of that, and we have to have all the things. When no, we really don't. Some people, I think that does make them happy, but I feel like that's been taught. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's been taught because the way society goes. It's not what's really important at the end of the day. And like I say in my other video, I'm pretty sure I talk about kids don't always care about, I know my kids could care less what brand any of their stuff is. I realize they're homeschooled and that probably helps. But I think another reason they don't care is that they weren't raised in a house where we cared. You know what I mean? You look nice, that's fine. It doesn't matter what brand it is. Find something on sale, that's a victory. We celebrate that. Woohoo, it's on sale, or we found it on clearance, or we found it at the thrift store. And so they then learn that that's exciting. Also, things like eating out or buying a bunch of prepackaged stuff, things like that that cost money, that are a luxury. I cut down on those as much as I can. We still go out to eat, you know, every once in a while, and when we do, it's a real treat. They're not all super used to it. So there's that. But I have a video where I give a whole bunch of tips on living on one income with a large family. But if I was to break it down, I would say try to stay away from just material thinking. You don't necessarily need the best and all the stuff. Don't spoil yourself all the time with going out to eat and all those things. Keep a budget, stick to it. If you have a going out to eat budget, maybe that's once a week. Be happy with that. And I think if we show contentment, we teach that to our kids. And the biggest thing is just a budget. Make a budget and stick to your budget. don't live outside your means. So if you only make this much, spend that much. Live within your means. Meal planning will save you a whole lot of money. And just even planning out your year kind of in advance of like, I know I want to do this in March, so I'm gonna start saving up for that. I know we're gonna wanna do this summer, I'm gonna start saving up for that. Christmas is coming, I'm gonna shop a little earlier. Things like that help us a whole lot. Are you still getting sick? So yes, I am still getting sick. I had, you know, very bad sickness if you watched my vlogs and all that, up into 22 weeks. And then it died down and almost was completely gone for about a month. And then it came, not quite a month, yeah. No, not quite a month, 2 weeks, maybe 3. Because then it came back, and it came back pretty well. And then it's just kind of, I'm just kind of riding the waves of it. I do not physically get sick as often, but I still do every once in a while. It's mostly just cooking is hard, eating sometimes is hard, just in the morning it's hard. Just I'm still nauseous, and I'm not used to being any kind of nauseous at this point in pregnancy. But at this point, you know, now we got like 5.5 weeks till due date. When you see this, I don't know when this will come out, but I'll be closer to it. So hopefully the sickness is almost done and we'll just be done. I don't know why I'm so sick this pregnancy. I have tried all the things, all of them, but I am glad that I'm not throwing up all day, every day. I am very thankful I can get up and I can move around and I can cook almost every day. And I'm really glad about that. The best advice I've received as a parent. The best advice I've received as a parent. I wish my brain was working better. I would have to say it comes probably to the homeschooling advice that then I've spread out to my life, and it's just that, does it really matter, or can you let it go for the day? Okay, so when we first started homeschooling, I was very much a traditional homeschoolist, and those would be times where math could ruin my whole day, right? And then get in the way of me and my kids' relationship, things like that. And my mom, I think, was the one, and she would say, does it actually matter, or can you let that go today? Can you let it go today, pick it back up tomorrow when you and your child both probably have better attitudes, and just let it breathe, you know? And you can take that to more than just homeschooling. You can branch it out to all of parenting. If you're really struggling with your child that day over something, I'm not saying to let it go. Kids need to learn, you know, no, we made this mess, now we're going to clean it up. But there are certain things in parenting where can you let it go until tomorrow? Take a step back, take a breather, address this when you're in a better state of mind than what you might be now. Because if you're really upset now, and maybe not till tomorrow, maybe wait 30 minutes and come back to it. But if you're not in a good state of mind, you're not going to handle it the right way anyway. You might say things you didn't want to say or didn't mean to say, or just not going to come out how you meant for it to come out. And the same thing with your child. If they're upset, they're going to say things to you that they might not mean, or, you know, they don't really feel that way, or just our tone of voice can make things sound so much worse than they are. So just to kind of can you let it go? Does it really matter that much right now? Can you take a break and come back to it? Is it going to make that big of a difference? Especially things with school. You know what I mean? Like, who wants to damage your relationship with your child over grammar? You know? But that was something that I had to learn and practice and let go of. And I'm not a control freak. I don't think. But I'm not. But just certain things you have to realize, like, kind of like pick your battles. Just let that go for right now. Let that go. And let them know that you're not forgetting it, but that we need to take a break. We'll think about how we really feel about this. Let's put it up for right now. We'll collect our thoughts, and we'll come back when we're more calm and we're more rational and we actually kind of know how we feel and what we want to say. So if that makes any sense, I like that advice. Another good advice is that, oh, your children are not you. You're not supposed to make them into you. Let them be who they are, and you show them who you want them to be by being who you think they should be, right? So we can tell our children all day long to keep their room clean, but unless we keep our room clean, we really have no room to talk, and they're not going to learn the lesson, and we're just going to get frustrated at them for not keeping their room clean, right? So be the example that you want to see. That's the other advice. And I know there is more Instagram questions, but I thought they were gonna stay, and so I did not screenshot all of them, so now they're gone. So if you ask me a question on Instagram and I don't have it, I'm sorry, but I think this video is gonna be like 40 minutes, so I'm gonna get off. And I hope that through my pregnancy brain babbling, some of this made sense, but I gotta get off this fireplace, y'all. I'm too pregnant to sit here this long, and yeah, I just can't think and I'm tired. So there's that. For the next, month, you're gonna hear me talk about how I just can't think and I'm tired. Anyway, thank you for giving me the questions. It was fun to go through and talk about all of them. I will try to link all those videos I mentioned down in the description box. So if you were kind of a newcomer and you had those questions and you want more details, watch those videos. They'll have way more details, but trying to answer all those questions and not have an hour-long video, I kind of rushed through, just gave little sprinkles. I probably also make more sense in those videos because I wasn't pregnant and I could think. So anyway, I'll let you guys go and I'll see you next time. Bye, y'all.